Let me tell you a story about a detective and a cursed mosque. Okay, here we go. There once was a detective named Amin al-Sayyeh, who was sent to a forgotten village at the edge of the Rub al-Khali Desert, also known as the Empty Quarter. The village was cursed. Every 30 years, people would vanish without a trace. The last disappearance had happened 30 years prior, and the locals were convinced it was all connected to this old mosque called Masjid al-Jan, or the Mosque of the Jinn. It all started when a young shepherd went missing, then a school teacher, and finally an entire family. Their homes were found abandoned, doors wide open, food still on the table, but the people were nowhere to be found. The only common detail was that they all lived near an old sand-covered well behind the abandoned mosque. The locals claimed that something sinister was buried beneath it, something that had been sealed away for over 60 years. They said that one midnight during prayers, the mosque caught fire and those who tried to extinguish the flames vanished into the smoke. What they didn't know was that the fire had been caused by a ritual gone wrong. Some say it was a form of black magic, others a failed attempt to summon a great lord, but all agreed that whatever had been disturbed should have stayed buried. As the night wore on, a strange wind began to howl, whipping around the old mosque like a chorus of whispers. The detective set up camp nearby and recorded the sounds of the night. At 3:12 a.m., his recorder picked up a second voice, whispering in a dialect no longer spoken. He felt something crawl across his chest, invisible, yet cold as ice. In the morning, he found a sigil drawn in ash on the tent wall. When he touched it, he blacked out. When he woke, it was evening, and someone had etched his name in the sand next to the old well. It was then that Hanan, an old woman from the village, confessed that her grandfather was there when they buried the creature. It wasn't human. It laughed when they poured the sand. What they had unearthed was a jinn, a creature of immense power that had lain dormant for centuries. It had been imprisoned beneath the mosque, but now it was stirring, and as the centuries passed, it grew stronger. With each passing year, its influence spread, corrupting the minds of men and turning neighbor against neighbor. Before long, it was whispering to the detective directly, tempting him, taunting him, trying to break his mind. Amin knew he had to escape, but the path out of the mosque looped on itself, leading him back to the same chamber where it lay imprisoned. As the creature's grip tightened, he stumbled upon a hidden room beneath the mosque's mihrab. The walls were covered in burnt handprints, and in the center sat a skeleton, not human, not animal, but clearly once powerful, its bones wrapped in chains made of black stone. And as he reached out to examine it, the jaw cracked open and the voice boomed, echoing through the chamber. "You have seen. Now you belong." The creature reached out, its skeletal fingers digging into his flesh, and he screamed as the darkness consumed him. Weeks later, a rescue team found his camera buried near the well. The last footage shows him staring into the lens, his eyes black, his voice layered with another deeper tone beneath his own. "I solved the case," it says. "But it wasn't a man who killed them. It was what we buried, and it's still hungry."